Boleh tahan dingin.
Korang nak cakap kuat pasal sebelah pun ada badminton lah apa.
Ya, terlalu tinggi ya. Tinggi kali.
Ketinggian waktu.
Gue aja nggak nyampe.
Lebih relax jadinya kalau napak.
Gitu Tinggi dua ni tinggi.
Oh. Tapi dia ada ini ya sandal kakinya.
Ya,
Dia
makin
boleh
dia goyang makin gegar aku sini.
Stop. Diam. Stop, diam.
Good afternoon, viewers. Thank you for spending your Saturday with us to watch in the casual sharing session with our Team SG Silat national coaches. The chat box is open. Flood it with your questions that you'll be wanting to get the answers and hear them answering live. I have here with me Mr. Muhammad Fikri and Muhammad Hamdi, who joined
Hello.
us 7 years ago, and we have Miss Selvi, who recently just joined us for the last few months. Lastly, we have Mr. Hasmul Zafar, our own local national coach. They will be sharing about their experiences, their stories of coaching our Team SG Silat, their knowledge, background, and many more. Presenting to you our national coaches. Say hello.
Hello.
So, coaches, before we begin, we'll be playing a speed fire questions game. When I point to you, you have to answer within the first 3 seconds.
We try.
3. Texting or calling?
Calling.
Hasmul, favorite holiday?
Europe.
Oh. Wow.
Selvi, do you snore?
Dengkur enggak? Dengkur, berdengkur.
Taklah.
Hamdi, cake or pie?
Cake.
Okay, the last question, I'm gonna have all of you to participate in. Your favorite ice cream flavor?
Chocolate.
Strawberry.
Ice cream.
Strawberry.
Say what? Chocolate.
Strawberry. Don't like.
Thank you for participating in this ice-breaking game, guys. Since you have warmed up now, our upgraded session of the International Pencak Silat Competition Rules and Regulations was first announced by the International Pencak Silat Federation, or also known as Persilat, in March 2020. The last changes we made was in 2013, and since then, almost 95% improvements was made by the Persilat Steering Committee. And for this, we have Dr. Sheik Alau'ddin, Marican, Chief Executive Officer of Singapore Silat Federation, to add on his views together with our national coaches.
Hello, hi.
Coaches, I will open the floor by asking Fikri and Hamdi to share their experiences when they first arrived in Singapore about 7 or 8 years ago.
Hello. My name is Muhammad Hamdi. I'm artistic coach for the Singapore Silat Federation. I become a coach since 2014 April. Yeah, that's all. Now I'm 34 years old. Okay.
Of course you can.
Oh,
Still young.
Still young,
Yeah.
of course.
yeah.
All the young.
I married, got two kids, one son and one girl.
What's the name?
The son is the Muhammad Rafardan and the second one is Nur Falisha.
How old?
For my son, next April is the 6 years old, and the girls also April 4 years old. Okay.
Nice, very nice.
Okay, hi, my name is Fikri. I already 7 years in Singapore Silat Federation as a national coach, in charge for match category for senior level. I joined in Singapore Silat Federation just different 1 month with Hamdi. I come in Singapore Silat Federation is May 2014. Because the Hamdi recommend me to join in national team Singapore Silat Federation. So before that, my experience is I'm coach for sports school in Jakarta. So already 4 years in sports school, and now I'm joined to National Silat Federation.
That's nice. A question for Dr. Sheik. What made you decide to hire the coaches from Indonesia?
For me, it's always improvement to have more ideas and changes of or sharing of ideas will be great, and of course that will help the national team. We have so many categories of athletes. To have the support from Indonesia coaches, I think that would be great. And we have done that, and we have seen the growth. And I'm very happy to have them. They have not only been a coach to help the athletes, they also put themselves into various program that they can be part. They are also qualified international referee. They also qualified team managers. They can be the ambassador for Silat in the world. So I guess having them till now, I think speaks volume, because they are here and they continue to be our coaches. And what do you think, Hamdi and Fikri? Do you like me, or how is it?
Yes, very excited working with Moza.
For me,
But all the time kena score also, right?
Yes, this,
for me, I got a lot of the ilmu.
Opportunities.
Yeah, the
lah,
opportunities
Experience,
and
have a lot
everything lah.
experience.
Yeah, especially the international competition lah.
Right. So again, looking at the both of them, they also support the rest of the coaches in Singapore. They do programs, they do lecturing also, and they support in terms of competition setup. I guess these are contributing, not only being a coach. So this is what our setup in Singapore Silat Federation. Not being a coach alone, they also learning in various and sharing their expertise to elevate Silat in Singapore. And I am sure the parents love you guys very much. Parents also care for you, and always weekends you always go out and have makan with with friends and so on, building up friends. So I'm just hoping that they will stay on and build up further with our team, and we want more gold medals.
yes, sir.
I think I would like to shoot a question for Hasmo. Is there any difference in the coaching style between yourself and the Indonesian coaches?
Okay, hi. My name is Muzaffar. Well, based on the question, I think most of our training program was drafted by Dr. Sheik, because he's the head coach of the whole team. But we are given the freedom to give inputs based on our specialties. For myself, it's more to front kicks, side kicks, and dropping techniques. So for Fikri, he's much on a tactical side, strategy, kind of coaching, and everybody's put their specialty on the table. So it contributes holistically to the whole team. It adds color, it adds variations. It just emphasizes and show the drive of how much we really want to excel for Team Singapore. As what CEO said, we want to bring more goals. Based on our track records, I think we have the result has spoken for itself. I believe that there's one part of it. Other than that, most of us share the main reason is just the drive. The drive is there, so everybody's just sharing and just pouring in their expertise to contribute the whole team.
That's nice, thank you. For Selvi, you arrived in Singapore and immediately attached for competition. How do you feel about that?
For competition.
How you feel?
Apa rasanya nih? Baru datang tapi udah langsung ada pertandingan.
Shock, yeah, but not. No, hanya yes. But for me, is excited for me, and I want more.
Actually,
want more.
I also surprised with see performance because he very brave.
Can show,
He
can
can
show.
show up. He can talk.
Yeah.
And he can like we can work together as a team.
Speaking of working together as a team, how did you feel from the last competition, the 8th Southeast Asian Puncak Silat Championship? How much have changed from past competitions and now as a team of coaches?
Yeah, for me for this competition, last competition CCM we organized, actually because this competition is new one, so we have a new tactical has and a lot new the techniques for variation technique like dropping and a lot
Pulling.
like elbow pulling, elbow knee, or and we can compare the other country also. So I also surprised with the like Vietnam, Thailand. He can play the new rule because I never see before the like he coach or he referee join for the like course for the seminar for new rule, but he can play very well. That's why now we evaluate for our athlete, so we know the where must improve in our athlete.
I guess I want to bring back how I want to build the team of coaches. Very importantly, listening to what Coach Hasmo and Coach Fikri mentioning, and of course our newbie here, Miss Selvi. What I imparted to all of them is basically everything is one. That means togetherness is very important. So I can see that all of us here, we're working very closely. We have about more than 10 coaches previously, and all are working together, no nonsense when it comes to work. We are very focused and driven. So that that culture have built up until today, and I'm really applause everyone that their determination and the drive that in terms of coaching, in terms of on duty for competition are very serious. Citing Selvi, Coach Selvi just came on board just recently, just about maybe right now, maybe in a month.
Yeah.
Like a month. So the moment she stepped into Singapore after quarantine and then competition. So not sure, see whether this lady can really manage the athlete and be at the corner.
Yeah.
So looking at the way she handled herself and she belonged to the team immediately and immersed herself, swim 100% that I want to make sure that my athlete is to be the champion. I want to help my athlete champion. The mindset is just that, and support the athlete throughout until the end. So I think this kind of mentality and this kind of strong mind is needed in coaching without saying I'm tired. This is what I got from them. So this is a good team that we are pushing day by day, and we are the champion team, as you can see today. Yeah.
While we're on that topic, the 8th Southeast Asian Puncak Silat Championship was held in Singapore last month, was where everyone was able to witness the upgraded rules and regulations that was being used. Coach Hamdi, how do you think your athletes performed?
For the new rules, right? For the seni team, actually the certain my athlete is the all athlete, but the most of the seni team is the new athlete. So I try to give them like motivation how to take the new rules because the new rule is the seni, like now the competition like tanding also. Yeah, they must doing the battle. So the important is the mindset, because usually seni doing the every competition like one time or two time performances. But for these new rules, the mindset must change. They will doing performance like 2, 3, or maybe four times. So for me, this is the challenge for me and also my athletes also. So I try to give them motivation and the new mindset. That's all.
Just to add on the seni competition, I guess this is going to be very interesting and giving an opportunity to the athletes lah, or the country. Last time is only first, second, third. I mean, gold, silver, bronze.
Yeah.
So when putting into battle like the match, you will see there's an opportunity for the athlete to get another bronze.
Yes.
And the good thing is, it's a battle you look at, I have to do better and better and better. And then you will show the results together. And they have to stand and looking at each other. So this is great for artistic category. And of course, by doing so, the coaches have the opportunity to even protest. When they see that the opponent is not performing to the real standard. So the athlete have to be more careful.
Carefully.
The coaches must be ready to see the opponent performance, and then the coach have the opportunity to protest. So this is preparing for the coach to understand very well
The movement.
in terms of the juros,
The
whatever the juros is given. So I think for being a coach, normally the driven is a lot on match. If everyone can agree, it's all about match, because match is more exciting. So now what we're talking about artistic. Artistic, we want to increase the elevation, and we want to match with the sparring or the match itself. So I think what you put through to the athlete, that's great. The performance of the athlete since they are also new athletes, I'm very happy to see that. I think everyone can agree with that.
But have like some athletes or some coaches or some country he like not agree with the like why
Must doing
seni
better.
must better, why not like last?
I mean, if you can see match, they have to fight sometime 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, even 6 times, depends on the championship. Let's say you're talking about world championship. There's 70 countries, 80 countries. So you have 80 countries. You just imagine that they have to going round from preliminary rounds, go through a few, and it's a knockout system. And then if you pass the first round, you have to go to the second round, and then you will reach quarter. You won't smell anything if you lose.
Yes.
So you reach semi. When you reach semi, there's already 5 times or 6 times fight. By the time you get bruises and all that. So after thinking with the team of this International Silat Federation steering committee, we thought that we have a fair share for the artistic to fight like a match category. Well, the training for artistic is not easy, right? Hamdi? You push them to the wall too. Physical, weight training, and then what else you put on the performance side, and of course you must understand on the layup of the match itself, the arena itself. So we want it to be together. So artistic athlete and the match athlete is the same because it's high dynamic action. It's the same thing. So I guess they have to understand.
Actually I agree with this format for this rule, because the not changes about the battle, but the scoring system also be different. Like from 5 jury now is 10,
10
jury
juries.
is more like
Object.
objective. So cannot like tipu or what.
Yeah.
Sorry to say like that.
Yeah, the good tipu-tipu is very good. That's why it brings us, the team, the steering committee decide that it had to be transparent.
Yes.
And then you have to be individualized by the jury. So that's why we have 10, and then they have to see the highest and lowest they will start to throw, and there's a lot of, it goes into, you have to add on to the decimal points, and then we go into median, and then from there you will see after the divides and all that, there's two ways of doing it. One is computerized, they will manage everything, it's all sorted out inside there. Another one is manual. Yeah, so I guess this is just to show how we can be very much transparent. Looking at our sport is very subjective.
Yes.
So when subjective, a lot of question, a lot of unhappiness.
Yes.
So we're trying to be like other sports. If you see gymnastics and boxing and some others, so we're trying to be more clear and more transparent, very much lah. Of course, in future we want to digitalize it, even in the match category, even in the artistic, so that there's no human doing digital, but it's still human being handling it. So it's go back to the same.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about robotic handling, but I'm trying to digitalize it using maybe by punching or kicking, the points will show differently, and automatically it will just show the points rather than the jury still have to key in and so on. So basically like that lah. Yeah. So I'm not sure any other
If I
comments.
could add from what been spoken by my colleagues and Dr. Sheik, based on the last CCHAM, I was appointed to be with the technical teams, taking care of all the technical issues, the new VR system, the 8 cameras, high definition at different angles, the new scoring system. I think for artistic, something which is very new is the points is very clear. It's been displayed on the white screen so that everybody can see. That shows how determined we are, how determined Silat and Singapore Silat Federation in whole. We want to be as neutral as possible to eliminate biasness, to elevate the sport, because ultimately our ultimate mission is no longer the Asian Games. It is higher than the Olympics, or maybe the future Paralympics. So that is basically why us coaches believe with the vision of the Federation, of Silat, the vision by Dr. Sheik itself, why change is there, not only the format of the match, but technical terms. As I think most of us have seen, there's a lot of instances where certain uncalled for scenarios through the aid of the VR, it is made clearer. So these are the changes that we hope within the new rules is going to elevate Silat. We understand that, as what Dr. Sheik mentioned, it's a very subjective sport. But being subjective doesn't undermine us to be a lower grade.
Yeah.
We are almost on par with major sports in Singapore, and I believe we are one of the major sports in Singapore that always contributes medals, regardless of whatever competition, may be major, minor, nationally, internationally. So with all these changes, I think it's just going to elevate the whole sport. It's just a matter of time that everybody learns to accept the change, learns to embed and embody all these changes, the philosophies and all the reason behind the change. I think the future for Pencak Silat internationally is going to be very bright.
And have one more issue about the referee, because my friend because he organized some like competition, because he worried about the referee. He agree with Tanding with there's 3 juries. Maybe because he organizer, right? He can save money, right? But now for the artistic, 10 lot must pay a lot people, because on
hire.
duties must 10, even the KP and Dewa also I'm the whatever.
equipment.
So he complained like that Why not? What need 10 referee for the scoring?
Yeah, so I just like to address. I just would like to address what is the concern. Why 10? Why 10?
Yeah.
Why not 7? Why not 5? Why not just 3 like Tanding, you know? But let's see this scenario. I'm just giving you a scenario. Let's say a Southeast Asian Games, SEA Games that we're going to Vietnam soon, right?
Yeah.
In May. So the referee has been invited from Malaysia 5, from Indonesia 7, from Singapore 5, from Thailand 3, Vietnam I think 9 because of the host country, and then you have Brunei 5. So you just plus all the invited countries. You have about 30. Okay, that is on international events. Now we talk about domestic. Domestic like Singapore or even in
Indonesia.
Indonesia,
Jakarta, like state,
all the states, they host quite a lot of events. Even in school level, I saw tons of it. From Indonesia, they will have like a month, like maybe 200 championships.
They say it's the pemasalan.
Yeah, so
Even 1,000 of participants.
no problem. Tidak ada problem. No problem, you know.
That's why.
Can make it.
And also
No,
no
because-
reason
no,
to organize.
Because this event, that's why they asking why.
Yeah, so talking about REIT, you have perguruan or the school that send a team. Obviously, they will also send one referee or 2 referee. So we are talking about 500 competitors basing on 10 or 20 perguruan or clubs and so on. So each one of the contingent send 2 referees. You have already 40 based on 20 teams. So what is the problem? What is the issue of putting 10 juries, whereas you have 20, 30 referees on duty?
Yeah.
So that's the logic I can say lah.
Yeah.
Unless
Actually for the organizers,
Got a lot
he don't mind about we can get the
Numbers.
Juries,
numbers,
the number.
60, 100, we
Even-
can.
Yeah.
In Indonesia, a lot of referee. But for the money, the
So-
money part, that's why. my friend ask,
Yeah, but-
why?
But okay, I ask you this question. Fikri. When you host an event in back then in Jakarta, which I also sent a team from the club to your championship. So how many referees that you have, be it artistic or match? How many referees that you bring into one championship?
Usually we depends on the
Arena. Depends on arena.
the
right?
arena, the how many arena we play. So we must coordination with the lembaga wasit juri in
Okay.
Indonesia, IPSI.
Council, the council.
So
Yeah.
we like coordination with them. Okay, this arena we must 30 or 60 people. So we actually in Indonesia we must pay the referee for the competition because the referee not volunteer. He got paid, but that's why now in Indonesia for payment for register now is like more expensive.
Yeah.
That's why because he cover for the all organizer, so
Right.
must pay middle
Everything, yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
In terms of organizing, yeah, true. But when you're talking about a few arenas, you have 3 arenas or 5 arenas, or even sometimes more than 5.
Yeah.
But always, as an organizer, you have ways and means in putting up on certain events. So we talk about artistic. You want to run 2 simultaneously, so you need 20. Obviously, as I mentioned just now, you have to pay them. You pay 30 referees for 5 arena. So you can have 3 arena or 2 arena to have artistic event. So you still use, you will not add more of that. So I'm just taking that the organizing committee have to look into it, how to
Yeah,
manage.
because in last time we can like modify the competition,
Competition.
like from the 5 jury for tanding we can just choose we use the 3 jury, just
3 jury.
modify just the
Yeah.
number of referee.
Right.
Maybe now
That-
he confused. If 10,
That's
how we can do it? for
that's
now,
like
for-
I'm saying before, right? This question is coming because the pemasalan.
Yeah.
Usually the competition for the pemasalan, they using maybe 4, maybe even
arena.
6 arenas.
Usually we use
So
six,
so the numbers is coming from the arena. That's why they're talking about the cost. Yeah.
Yes, I can agree. Let's say 6 arena artistic category run at one time. So what you can do is you don't want to pay more. As I say, you have to
Modify it or-
modify
Yeah.
a bit, or even you can reduce.
Yes.
Yes.
You
that's why.
reduce from 10 maybe to 8.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
so he
Can
said
modify
like
lah.
that,
You still can do
Maybe
it.
from
Yeah.
10 to 5 maybe.
No,
I don't
not
know.
5. 5
Yeah.
Maybe,
still.
yeah. That's why, because this one is new, right?
Yeah.
So they haven't got the how to modify, especially for seni lah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
tanding is very good for them because from 5 to 3, right? So for actually he thinking about how to
Yeah.
modify for the tanding if not 10 referee for duty lah.
Yeah, ultimately you have to
Yeah.
run professionally. lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually
Because you
much
ultimately
Try
you
try
have
to professional lah.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
put it. Having said all that, when I bring in, I mean the Silat Federation bring in 2 of you guys, then your friends come in, and we have sparring partners and so on. The culture in your country, whatever that you've been doing and so on, your classes, whatever that you've been doing in universities, Silat, the moment you touch into Singapore, and everything changed.
Exactly.
Where you look at it, it's a big picture. You look at it like,
Yeah.
wow, this is what I want. Oh, this is scared. I don't know. I'm not sure that how I can work with the group. So maybe you can share. The 3 of you can
Yeah.
share.
Yeah, for me is the difference is first is the language.
Okay.
Yeah, because we realized the first language is the English, because the first touch, honestly, my English is very very no,
Hey,
no.
but to say that I'm happy today, you can speak English.
This is terpaksa.
we push ourselves. We push ourselves.
That's good. I mean, you elevate yourself to the next level.
Yeah. For me is the hardest is the first is the language. Yeah. But we try to learn. We try to looking when the talking, people talking. We try to like
Imitate
adapt,
as much as
imitate.
possible,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And what else? What do you
Yeah,
think?
for me, first time in Singapore, so because I in charge for match category, and one of athlete is the age
Gap.
the gap
not
is
to-
just one year.
1 year difference.
1 year difference. So like he also world champion. I'm not champion, but I can coach .
Yeah.
So, like, wow, the one is I'm nervous and scared. I can handle this athlete or no? Because
The worries is about the respect.
respect because
Whether they can
just
respect us or
only 1 year different. And for me in Singapore, first time for the coach take for the training because I haven't looked the previous coach lah. So I cannot compare what the character in Singapore how to like give the volume and intensity or because the previous I'm coach as a sports school is like junior level.
Yeah.
So I give train like usually I give training for the sports school lah. So time I look boss take session for the match. Oh my god, the comparison very wow. Okay, so I try push more for the athlete So that's why like like shock
A bit shock, a bit
A
shock.
bit shock. Wow. Oh, like that the character for the training our athlete
Right. How
But,
about you? How about you?
By the way, talking about language, so I'm trying. But my athlete, tapa lot coach, tapa bahasa Malaysia aja, Melayu saja. Okay. But I won't try.
Yeah.
But my athlete speak. It's okay, coach. You can speak you bahasa.
Yeah,
Okay,
sometimes
thank you.
make our like awkward So because we try in English.
I understand what you're talking about.
So what do you think, Hasmo? How to help them in terms of the language with the athletes telling her that like that?
Basically, the coaches has put in effort. They try their best to speak in English, even though it's sometimes unbearable to hear them speak.
You see?
we try talking slowly and clearly.
They try because knowing that once they create in Pencak Silat, they are a national coach with Singapore Pencak Silat. So one of the requirements is to be able to converse in English.
Right.
We understand that they're having a hard time to adapt, changing of language. But as you can see, they are trying their best. So hopefully, Selvi, in 2 years' time, you can speak fluent English like a butterfly.
So what do you think of other than language that you have big problems, right? What else do you see the changes?
The changes is like paperwork because we have a standard for the how to make a program in Singapore.
Must follow the
the rule in Singapore, right? So like YPI, we call it in Indonesia is annual plan. In Singapore YPI. Actually same but the different format a bit
Yeah.
And we try convert to Singapore So and we can talk. Sometimes we cannot like write the spelling sometimes because first time boss tell me okay you make a 1 year program 1 year okay and boss correction my spelling all spelling okay so sometimes we can talk but the spelling for the right not proper
Do Google Translate.
yeah
Google Translate,
yeah that's why
Like usual, we create the annual plan, but we still need the translator.
That's why sometimes report performance also want to explain in English but sometimes like kacau sikit.
Di Indonesia.
Okay. Kamu rasa tertekan nggak untuk mengikuti cara latihan di tim Singapura? Sebenarnya untuk melatih di Singapura sih, kalau saya pribadi, saya nggak merasa tertekan sama sekali karena kita sudah belajar di university. Kebetulan kita, Hamdi, saya dengan Selvi, kita dari lulusan Fakultas Olahraga di UNJ. Jadi kita belajar tentang kepelatihan, bagaimana caranya bikin program, bagaimana caranya kasih variasi latihan sesuai tahapan tingkat latihan. Jadi sebenarnya ini memang bidang kami untuk bekerja. Jadi kalau dibilang merasa tertekan untuk melatih, tidak. Tapi memang dalam dunia olahraga itu ada selalu tiap tahun ada tantangannya. Karena kita bukan hanya dilihat melatihnya saja, tapi ada hasil yang dicapai. Karena selalu ada target di setiap kompetisi. Kalau kita nggak mencapai target atau katakanlah atlet yang kita latih nggak pernah gagal, ya sebagai pelatih harus siap kena buang lah, karena mungkin cara melatih kita nggak berhasil. Karena ya sebagai pelatih, kalau saya menanamkan diri saya sebagai pelatih itu nggak pernah di zona yang aman, karena ingat, pelatih itu yang dituntut adalah selalu prestasinya. Ketika kita berhasil mungkin kita akan diperpanjang terus, tapi ketika gagal ya mungkin kita siap-siap kena buang. Itu hal yang biasa dalam dunia kepelatihan menurut saya. Jadi jalanin aja, nggak ada rasa tertekan. Mungkin kalau ada rasa tertekan berlebih malah ngelatihnya jadi nggak enak, malah susah lah. Tapi pada saya memang nggak ada sih, nggak ada tertekan sama sekali.
Syafi?
Untuk aku sendiri yang baru datang ke Singapura 2 months ago, justru kalau tak melatih itu badan tuh seperti apa tak kurang gitu, tak bisa gitu diam. Jadi harus setiap hari tuh harus ada pekerjaan kita, profesi kita, pakaian kita adalah melatih. Gitu. Jadi justru kalau kita kalau dikasih libur ya kita tetap libur lah maksudnya, tapi kayak setiap hari harus ada hal yang membuat kita juga otak kita tuh fresh dengan melatih, justru tak bisa kita diam seperti itu.
Right. So Hamdi ada kemasukan?
Kalau buat saya untuk bisa mengikuti di sini, maksudnya di cara latihan ya nggak terlalu pressure sangat, nggak terlalu tertekan banget. Mungkin hanya jadwal karena kan di sini kan juga kan atlet-atletnya juga kan yang dituntut bukan hanya prestasi dalam olahraganya saja, tapi juga dalam pendidikannya di sini justru malah lebih penting daripada olahraga. Ya, because karena itu adalah tuntutan utama setelah dia retire, setelah dia pensiun dari atlet juga dia membutuhkan masa depan. Jadinya tetap di sini yang dinomorsatukan adalah pendidikan. Jadi mungkin kadang ketika melatih itu hanya waktunya aja. Terkadang ketika jadwal latihan tapi kayak terbentur dengan sekolah, jadinya atlet ya harus mengutamakan yang utama. Gitu aja sebenarnya.
Saya juga baru tahu ternyata atlet di sini dia tak bisa ikut kejuaraan, dia tak bisa ikut apapun jika akademiknya
nggak bagus.
Tak baik. Itu menurut saya sangat-sangat.
Sebenarnya hal ini saya dulu pernah belajar dari sekolah. Dulu kalau di atlet MBA itu seperti ini gitu. Kalau dia nggak lulus university, dia nggak akan bisa jadi atlet profesional. Seperti gitu.
So apa yang dimaukan oleh negara kita, sebagai atlet kamu juga pinter di sini, di atas sini harus pinter dalam akademik, juga pinter dalam permainan silat. Jadi dia harus dua-dua naik. Jadi itu kita complete champion lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got one more question from the comments. How have you guys coped with leaving your family?
Exactly.
Cerita sedih ya.
This COVID period sedih.
Ini the experience. More than 1 year.
But diam tak diam pun sudah anak dua.
Ini looking di depan happy, tapi belakangnya macam.
Okay, cerita.
Okay, so teknologi ya of course help lah, because every day, morning, afternoon, evening, we always video call with my wife and my kids lah. So yes, it's very
Every day.
yeah, every day. Very important lah. So we cannot like live together, but the technology can make me like every time we can meet lah by phone lah, video call.
But next month you can bring your wife.
Insyaallah.
But
Every finish training, Coach Hamdi, Coach Fikri, and all coach hold the phone. Mereka sedang cakap dengan para istri-istrinya di rumah. And me?
Yeah,
Tak lah, kalau
This is like
istri
macam
single.
ini macam single ya.
Invitation.
single diva.
Actually,
Every day finish training.
Coach Hasmo, please find her one boyfriend. Because he can coach in Singapore throughout
Kamu
the
pula
years.
boleh main tengok.
Ya, buat saya teknologi sangat-sangat membantu karena ini adalah sebagai konsekuensi kita kerja jauh dari keluarga lah. Tapi bersyukur di zaman sekarang sudah mudah lah. Tidak seperti dulu zaman ketika kita masih semua susah. Teknologi masih susah. Semua cuma message je, tak boleh tengok muka, tak boleh.
Now you have the technology is excellent, yeah.
Yeah.
And furthermore, now
Yeah.
in terms of COVID, is already lax in Singapore and around the world, and of course in Indonesia, they're opening the doors and so on. So you can always welcome your families to Singapore. Singapore and Indonesia is only 1 hour different.
Yeah.
So I guess not a problem. Yeah. I also can give you leave. You can take leave. After World Championship. After World Championship.
right. Kawan-kawan dengar tu.
Moving on to something more light-hearted, any funny stories to share about your athletes, like from training?
Wah, bini. Halo Queen Shano.
I want to share one thing before any one of you answer. So when the Silat Federation decided to get a foreign coach to join us, so I managed to get one of the friends in Jakarta and saying that, hey, recommend me one coach. So this guy called Ricky. Then Ricky recommended Hamdi. So I said, okay, don't waste time. I got Hamdi. I said, okay, tonight you fly into Singapore.
Yes.
Then he was like, what? Don't talk so much.
No.
You just
It's not complete stories right. Actually yes, it is true right. Ini betul. Jadi saya ingat saya pergi hari Kamis. Rabu saya di call kalau Kamis pagi itu kena pergi fly Singapore. Tapi yang lebih like for me is the crazy is saya baru je jadi strength conditioning sport school. Baru satu hari itu. Saya ingat hari Rabu pagi itu saya melatih. Lepas itu Kamis pagi sudah pergi. Ya.
So he was shocked. I said, there's nothing to shock here. You fly in now. Hey, I told my staff, come on, you give the ticket now.
Yeah.
Boss, only ticket we have is SQ. And SQ costs $1,000 over. It's okay. Make him fly tonight.
I remember also, this is the return flight.
It's a single trip. $1,000 over.
Yes.
And make him fly. And he was shocked, and he had to deal with the families and so on. I guess your wife cried, right? Cry with happiness, lah. Maybe, I'm not sure. Or you miss hugging your wife.
Yeah.
Okay, so answer the question just now. What was the question? What was the question?
Funny stories about training your athletes.
Funny stories.
Oh, actually saya ada lah dulu. So like SEA Games 2015. That time saya dengan Syakir Juanda jadi cornerman, right? So Syakir ada satu atlet lah, saya tak nak sebut sama. Dia fight memang dah kirakan poin dah jauh. Dia pun kirakan tengah kalah lah. Tapi Syakir dah just macam nak give motivation lah. Hey, kau kuat, boleh kau buat. Kau penat ke? Habis dia jawab, saya dengan Syakir tengok dia. So iyalah dijawab lah. So saya nak ketawa nama dia. Oh, dia dah FedEx. Kau penat ke? Kau boleh tak? Kau penat ke? Alamak. Kita yang langsung down. Dia dah langsung as.
This is Tulin lah. Very truthful. Right. Right. Yeah. So, Hasbu.
I think for me, because I'm in charge of the junior, so the junior is a
lot
bunch
of-
of colorful athletes. So every day
The
is a
cutest,
challenge,
cutest.
a challenge for me to smile, to control my temper, to not get high blood pressure. So
More banyak istighfar.
it was to me quite fun because I've been coaching for quite some time, from clubs to current national team. So I have never before encountered in one training session 4 of my athletes were trying to hold their bowel. They're having stomach ache, so they come in and say, "No, you must hard. We are training for World Junior. You need to be hard and hard and hard." Coach, I cannot, coach. This is already coming out. I say, I don't care. You shit here. I don't care. I say, coach, serious, coach. So if I walk one step, then you want me to do what? Coach, can hug. I said, I was looking, can what? Can hug. You want this? Now you walk. So he was just walking. So I thought, okay, that's the end of it. So there's another person that came down. Coach, I also at the edge. You want me to hug or slap? Coach, if cannot hug, kiss also can. I said, no, cannot. Please. So go. So ultimately, as I say, for me, junior is something colorful. Other than just intensity training, we are just wanting for goals. It's more of a human touch. Being a coach and treating all these younger generation, these kids, it's something which I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life.
Well, I just
Sepertinya
wanna-
mereka melatih kesabaran abang.
Istighfar.
for me, I've been coaching since 1998. A lot of colors. You're talking about from the club level, thousands of them in front of me, and well, they always look up to me like that because I'm so tall, and their dream is to become a champion out in front there. But once in the national team, the funny thing is this: I always very hard in the training, very hard. And I told them that they got to be strong mentally, physically, and so on. But our athlete back then, strong mentally, but also weak when they get hit hard and they couldn't take it. So one of them, because last time I was like, "Yo, come here, make them wake up. You wake up." So he's like, okay. Some of them like, yeah. And some of them say, slap me more. Slap me. I say, no, I'm not gonna slap you. You go. I'm not gonna slap you. Sometimes I slap them.
Yeah.
Make them strong, make them wake up
Feel
because they are when they are in pain. So how to overcome the mind? So they come to me, "Coach, slap my face. Hey, I'm not gonna slap you. Go. When they are not aware, I give a slap to their face. So basically, it's interesting. There's a lot of ups and downs. You cry with the athlete, you laugh, you joke, you play. The kids also show funny things, and it's a lot of things. Even there's 2 guys that I want to say their name. One guy is Rahim Mama, we call it. Rahim Mama, he actually got kicked at the belly, at the below belly slightly, but not at the groin. So he then fell down, he threw himself down, and he started to hold his groin. So I started to hold his groin, go. Then I look at him, I say, I know this guy is bullshit. Guess what I did? I stand up by the side of the corner, I go to him and I hold his I say, hey, wake up, don't waste your time, wake up.
Masih ada.
Then he looks at me, he say, hey, alamak, Abang Sheik, why like that? I say, I know you bullshit. So there's this guy called Zulfatli, when we are in the Belgium Open. So basically, he got kicked strongly at the leg. Then he cannot take it, So he turned around, he goes to me, he walk limping and say, like, please help me. I crawl to the center, I slap his leg. I said, go back and fight again. So that was the biggest joke the time,
Yeah.
So, coaching, 40 over years doing coaching. Being an athlete, and I started off coaching at the club in 1996. So since 1996 from club, then stepped myself into national team. So what's the difference between these two? One, you got to be like them, like the kids. You crawl with them, you play with them, you motivate them so much, and you don't put a goal where, hey, you must be a champion. You must punch, make sure the opponent, drop, and what that kind of statements that you put forth to the national athletes. But to the club level, it's totally a flip. You have to start play with them, you talk to them nicely. Every time is just basically motivation and enjoyment. At the same time, you insert a lot of developmental activities for them and a lot of juros lah. Yeah. So the moment you go into a national championship, national itself, the focus is bringing the athlete to competition, and then there's a target goal. Even Sports SG will say, how many goal? How many goal? How many goal? You like, how many goal? How many goal? You get scared, Yeah. Because why? They take Silat as one of the medal contributor. So because they say that you can become a champion, you as a coach, you can make your team a champion. Yeah. So that's the bottom line. And then the driven will be just training, focus. Of course, inside there's so many other things that you must put in. You are the coach, as what Coach Hasmo was saying. You are the coach, you are the mentor, you are the everything. I cited one when I was in the national team coaching in 1999. We have 250 athletes. After we put strong training and so on, it goes down to about 50. So you don't need to do any selection. They selected themselves out.
We call this is natural selection.
Seleksi alam. So basically they
siapa yang kuat itu bertahan.
They opt out themselves.
Yeah.
So you have them, and then one of the time got these brothers Zulfakar and Muhammad Nur Rafili. So these two is my golden boy beside the rest. So the father is also a coach, but then very strict. So every time I have to call Pak Ramli, I call you Pak Ramli, ini Zulfakar dengan Rafili dengan saya. Okay lah, kalau dengan Sheik kan abang okay je lah. So you see the rapport that we have to build with the family, the rapport that we have to build with the athlete himself, and of course with their whoever their guardians lah that take charge of them and so on. So we have to work even with the schools and so on, just to make sure that they can be in front of you training, and you bring them to the championship, they make it happen. Whereas in terms of the club level, is totally different. Family oriented, mass training, and then everyone comes together, got makan and that kind of thing you develop in that manner lah. So but nevertheless, I guess with the coaching over the years and so on, I think my skin becomes so much thicker now and understand the in and out of this athlete, the needs, the parents, the clubs and so on. Yeah, so that's what I felt. Yeah.
Speaking of clubs, we have a question for Coach Hasmo. You have 40 over years of experience in Pencak Silat. What's the difference in coaching Silat clubs and the national team?
Wow, I feel old. I'm still young. Okay, basically I started Silat at a very young age. There's reasons why I was basically forced into Silat by my parents. So over the 40 years between club coaching and my current role as a national coach, as what Dr. Sheik spoken, club level is much more complicated. It is not only a factor of achievement, a factor of just proving that we can gain something, can win something from a competition. It's more about development, financial needs, support, the needs of the family. What my intention is, parents, when they send athletes to you at a young age, they only have one ambition. Can you teach my kid to be a champion? Can they be inside the national team? Or can they make a living out of Silat? So these three questions usually are put to us at club level. Other than, as I say, just our normal MPSCs, these are the challenges that we face in club, other than financially. For national coach, it's much of getting medals is just one of the challenges. As I think everybody agree,
Yes.
the sport context in Singapore is not only the development of champions through getting only medals. It is holistic. The whole development is creating a more better person that can contribute back to society.
Yeah.
The next generation leaders, people with brains and bronze. They are not only able to just do sports, they can also excel in other fields. For example, Jocelyn Yeo, from national swimmer, the golden girl of Singapore, to minister. Maybe one day somebody from Pencak Silat, or maybe our current world champion Sheik Farhan, or maybe Sohaila can become an ambassador with United Nations. Who knows? I think these are the things which I believe that drives me on believing with the vision of still wanting to coach even at age of 47. On a note, I joined national team because I had a brief session with Dr. Sheik. So we were talking about the future of Singapore. So I asked him, boss, so what's your vision? He said he wants this, he wants that, he wants this, he wants that. Then I asked him, boss, what's next? He has given world champions, he has given SEA Games gold medalists, he has given Pencak Silat the house, which is, I believe, to be the best in the world, which is our OCBC Arena, Hall 4, and currently here in Heartbeat. Something that I've seen at my athlete years, grown from a tiny place in Kampung Ubi, Rumah Silat, and then at the old PA in Kallang, we were training on the TARS with just one light. I remembering Dr. Sheik with his Mitsubishi space wagon on top, tied up with the vest, the mattress. It was from that to the current, I may just call it Den of Champions. So that drives me to look, I believe in the vision of making Silat my career. I've been learning it for 40 years. If I can't make a living out of it, what's the point of me being so passionate? So we're talking about dollars and cents and logical thinking. So to me, Silat has been very kind towards me, my family, and I'm thankful to my colleagues, to the Federation, to Dr. Sheik for believing in us coaches, people that have to leave their family far away, people that has not yet have a family. She's available. You want, you can send me 5%.
I want Mak Saleh.
You see, Mak Saleh.
Buling kau macam mana Mak Saleh?
Nanti kita carikan satu, So I think that's about it. How I summarize my 40 years experience in Pencak Silat.
Cita-cita memang harus tinggi.
Ya.
Tinggi.
Terus tinggi Pak Syed.
Ya.
Untuk satu lah.
Tolonglah, please, orang-orang bule, orang-orang putih-putih, Selvi ni kesiankan dia.
Tujuannya memperbaiki keturunan ya.
That's right.
Thank you for your insights. We'd like to move on to the next segment. I'd like to open this question to the floor. Is Pencak Silat an international martial art? If yes, why? And if no, why?
Please,
Yang lain dulu.
I got a lot of stories to tell. How about yours? You
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Again.
I'll repeat the question. Is Pencak Silat an international martial art?
Is
Do you think?
Okay, that maybe I just say it. Then you all must support me.
Yes. Of course.
We support.
Okay,
we always behind you.
Pencak silat is comparable with any martial arts. Where I just put it fast track, silat now in Hollywood. Silat student have becoming an artist, a Hollywood artist, an icon that not only do the stunts, they also basically act.
Yeah.
They are actor, and a lot of them, and big names. What are the
Eco.
Eco West,
Yayan,
Yayan, and all. So they're covering how many movies already?
Yeah.
It's like maybe more than 10.
The last
The
movie
new one
is
is
the
Expendable.
Expendable. So you just imagine. And I got a few videos that stated they just love Pencak Silat because of the action, the move, and so on. And it's a real killing, you know. The action is real killing. And this is what they want in movies, action movies. And of course, Silat in many years has spread out in all over the countries only on self-defense.
Yeah.
They promote the art of self-defense from Pencak Silat because self-defense for Pencak Silat is excellent. I just love it because that is what all over. Even some of the countries, they took Pencak Silat from the Indonesians and then they make it big in their country by teaching to the army, to the police, and so on. As you can see, even in securities and so on. You have Italy, you have in Korea, you have in a lot of countries. But in terms of sports, we are just trying to build. We're only having like 80 countries in the world that want to do sports. Because sports, a lot of injuries, sports, a lot of coming out, a lot of monies and everything. So, but we have done world championships. And then the biggest one in Singapore, almost 80 countries. So it covers in terms of saying whether this is an international sports or an international Silat is one of the international martial art. Yes, it is because we are part of the global martial arts. And we have even compete in UFC, the earlier time of UFC. Not even the UFC, just before UFC, we have from Spain, the heavyweight class, purely Silat Sumatra. Silat Sumatra, Silat Harimau, and then he's from Spain. He compete in Silat, and also he compete in the earlier time of the UFC, in a big stage, in the cage. So right now you can see from Malaysia, from Indonesia, most of them also compete in MMA, won championships and so on. But the first background, it started off from Pencak Silat. So I should say that Silat is a discipline sport and martial art, and our main is brotherhood, and of course discipline and responsible being a human being. That goes to the rest of the martial art. There's no comparison between Silat and Taekwondo with Wushu with Jiu-Jitsu. No, it doesn't compare. Everyone is equal in the name of putting up martial art as a discipline art that can help a lot of people by doing martial art. You know, and martial art also helps people to get slim. Right? So we are at par with the rest of them, and of course in the world we are there. I don't know, any one of you want to add anything to this?
I think for me, I agree whatever Dr. Sheik is saying. For me personally, I feel that to be an international sport, it is not only a label, it is a sole responsibility by all practitioners of Silat. Because we can't just say, okay, just to be international, it must be governed by a body. So I leave it to Silat. I don't care. Which is unlogical. Same goes to national level. In order for you to promote yourself to be an international sport, global, recognized globally, you cannot just leave the thing to a federation. You can just, I dump it to Singapore Federation, I don't care. And when people label you, you're not international, you get offended. Some will just leave the sport, which is really, when you think logically, it's not really logical. So to be an international sport, it is holistic. As I say again, it works from grassroots, from clubs, all the way up to a federation, to a main governing body, to a governing body that's governing a continental, continents, subdivision in the world. So everybody has a part to play. From the growth of Silat, I think from 1970s to now, I think everybody agrees, Silat has penetrated to Asian Games. So Olympic is on the verge. So why we are not there in the Olympics is just because, it's not because we never put in effort. We never tried to all the avenues, whichever governing body that we need to penetrate to be involved with the Olympics. It is just that Pencak Silat globally, the drive, the professionalism is not there yet. That is why I believe these changes within the new rules can help. We want federations around the world to believe that, look, this Silat, this sports means something. It can go far. It can either be monetary gains, being a full-time coach. As I say, I'm getting paid to teach something which I love, I've learned from young, opportunity for me to teach. So if I can do it at an international level, maybe we want to push the sport so that coaches, management can get paid at club level. It's nothing impossible. If people can do it in soccer, in badminton, in other cultural sports like taekwondo, judo, why we can't? I think with proper planning, the vision is there. So to label us as international and non-international is something very subjective. To be international, you need to think internationally, act professionally, platforms are there, avenues are there, work towards it, and inshallah, we can achieve.
Yeah. Just to add that Silat is not only for Malays.
Yep.
Yes.
We have changed the mindset, and we welcome everyone to join us. And back then we have Chinese, Indian who represent Singapore in the international events, and we are looking for more now to join us, and we will definitely welcome anyone. As you can see in Vietnam, none of them can speak English and Malay.
Yeah.
In terms of Silat
The face also.
athletes. Yeah, so basically, if you can see, we have Africans players, we have from Central
Algeria.
Asia and everywhere. So basically, it touches the international standards and change. Even our new rules stated, if you can't speak English, you want to become a referee, you have to go through a basic English course. So you see that we have changed and trying to push as much as possible and increase the level to the highest level and comparable with the rest of the other sports.
While we're on the topic of Silat being on international levels, this question is targeted mostly to Coach Hamdi, Coach Fikri, and Coach Zambi. What are the biggest differences you have seen on the practice of Pencak Silat in Singapore and your home country?
Okay, bahasa dulu ya. Agak-agak. Okay, di Indonesia untuk membandingkan silat di Indonesia dengan di Singapura, yang berbeda ya. Satu, berbicara masalah fasilitas ya. Kita punya facility is very good in Singapore. Apa yang kita mau, apa yang kita inginkan, semua boleh di cover semua dan high quality semua. So itu yang membantu juga untuk meningkatkan kemampuan setiap atlet lah. Kemudian juga kerjasama dengan sport science di sini. We have working together with sport science. We have mental coach, we have nutrition, we have strength and conditioning, we have like biomechanics, physiology. So we work together with the sport science in Singapore. So very complete in Singapore. But di Indonesia kita banyak atlet yang dibina. Karena untuk menjadi atlet nasional di Indonesia pun bukan agak susah, memang susah untuk masuk national team, ya kan? So dari untuk mengikuti pertandingan kita harus ada seleksi dari wilayah dulu. Kemudian ada macam di Jakarta kita ada seleksi untuk masuk tim Jakarta Timur dulu, baru kita bisa berkompetisi masuk ke level daerah, level provinsi Jakarta. Kemudian baru kita boleh mewakili untuk ikut kejuaraan nasional. Kejuaraan nasionalnya pun ada qualification dulu. Siapa yang dapat tiket untuk masuk, macam kita punya high level is Pekan Olahraga Nasional atau PON. Kita punya high level, punya competition. Jadi siapa yang mau masuk PON dulu itu harus ada kualifikasinya. Dia lepas itu baru bisa ikut. Kemudian dari sistem pembinaan atau macam training center in Indonesia, kita banyak level karena kita banyak provinsi juga. Jadi pengembangan atau pelatihannya lebih banyak atlet yang terlatih, ya, dari level wilayah, level daerah, level nasional, semua kita ada tingkatannya. Jadi mungkin kalau ya Indonesia memang besar lah, kita punya ada 34 provinsi, 270 juta orang yang ada di sana. So secara sumber daya manusia atau atletnya lebih banyak dibandingkan di Singapura. Jadi pilihan atlet pun juga banyak untuk yang kita pilih untuk berkompetisi lagi lah. Jadi mungkin bedanya lebih di situ aja lah, dari sistem di Singapura. Walaupun kita di sini mungkin agak lebih sedikit dibanding di Indonesia, tapi kita punya facilities number one in the world lah. Kita punya sport scientist is very good. Dan di Indonesia bagusnya dia punya pembinaan dengan level kompetisinya yang jauh lebih beda dibandingkan di Singapura. Mungkin perbedaannya di situ ya menurut saya.
Kalau di seni lebih ke basic basic teknik lah. Karena kan di Singapura dengan Malaysia kan dia macam sama culture kan, macam mau lebih halus, silatnya lebih halus ya. Jadi kalau di competition kan kita harus dituntut atlet ini kan harus melakukannya dengan eksplosif, dengan high teknik, dengan ya, pokoknya penampilannya paling terbaik lah. Mungkin perbedaannya di negara saya di Indonesia dengan Singapura basic itu aja. Jadi kayak seperti big challenge for saya lah, for me lah, untuk how to build the explosive gitu. Jadi kalau di Indonesia kan dari basic awal aja kita sudah dilatih hampir semua gerakan itu di setiap perguruan melakukannya dengan eksplosif. Even ini on guardnya, kuda-kudanya pun juga mesti harus cepat, kuat, pokoknya powerful lah.
Getaran.
Ya, mesti gitu. Ya, mungkin kalau buat saya perbedaannya lebih di situ aja. Jadi tantangan lah buat saya untuk bagaimana untuk menjadikan atlet ini dari habit yang lama dia ke habit yang baru. Itu aja.
Selfie?
Seperti pembinaannya terutama di sport school, karena belum lama ini saya memang pegang sport school. Jadi kalau di sini tuh seperti pembinaannya sudah dari ada prisinya, singaka, rutin gitu kan. Sudah dari sejak dini sudah dibina di sini. Tapi kalau di Indonesia itu dibina itu di per kelompok. Jadi sudah ada penanganannya oleh para dispora tuh namanya.
Macam
Pokoknya
SSI
dibuat
gitu.
kelompok-kelompok gitu. Sedangkan kalau di Singapura kan sudah dari kecil memang udah satu lingkup gitu untuk memilih atlet pun jadi ya semua pelatih sudah tahu, tinggal ambil mana nih yang bagus, mana yang bagus. Tapi kalau di Indonesia itu memang dibuat seleksi setiap tahunnya berdasarkan jenjang sekolah juga. Jadi misalnya sudah kelas 3 selesai harus diganti, seleksi lagi gitu. Itu kalau di Indonesia seperti itu. Dan yang paling menonjol untuk di Singapura ya tadi akademik. Di sini benar-benar nomor satu gitu. Jadi tak bisa hanya prestasi bagus. Mungkin kalau di Indonesia prestasi bagus masih bisa
tertolong.
Oke lah gitu ya.
Masih bisa ditolong.
Masih sangat dihargai. Gitu. Tapi di sini bukan tak dihargai, tapi lebih ya tadi bagaimana caranya kalau di Singapura ini akademik oke, prestasi oke. Itu memang benar-benar terjadi gitu. Yang saya sangat soroti itu sih.
Ya cuma tambahan no compromise lah dalam education in Singapore. Cuma kita ada flexibility a bit. Kalau kita tengok inside kita ada flexibility seperti di sports school. That means dia ada exam atau belajarnya tu mengikut projects rather than secular. That means you die have to go through step by step syllabus to achieve. Kalau tidak, it's a problem. Tapi tak semua kita punya atlet ada dalam sports school. But insyaAllah kita are moving very closely. So senang kalau atlet kita semua masuk di sports school dengan cara pelajarannya untuk membantu atlet-atlet mendapat kejuaraan yang tertinggi sekali, at the same time achieve in their academic. So basically they achieve in the both worlds lah.
Thank you for your insights. We've come to the last segment, which is the changes. But before that, we'll be playing a trivia quiz where the questions will be asked by Dr. Sheik. Well, before that, we'll take a intermission break. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah, we need to take a break.
Very good.
Break is on. It's good. Are we on break now? Or? Dia beku.
Dah bukan beku dah tak tahu apa dah.
Tapi muka steady je lah. Step steady.
Welcome back. We're back live. So as mentioned, we'll be coming on to the last segment, which is the changes of the upgraded rules. So before that, we'll be playing a trivia game where Dr. Sheik will be asking a few questions to our coaches to answer.
Okay.
Right, get ready, boys and girls. Get ready.
Yeah.
Right. So, what do you think from just now? We've been talking. How do you feel?
Cool.
I feel cold. You feel cold inside here. I thought you were excited and want to go for more.
I think we covered a lot of ground. I think we have cleared a lot of perceptions in the open, internationally regarding a lot of things. I think people get to know us more.
Right.
Live as a coach.
Yeah.
The hardship that we go through.
Really? Hey, I'm not doing well that week. Yeah. So Hamdi, what do you think?
Yeah, for me good lah. So macam satu sih is mengenal each other. Lepas tu macam sudah lama yang kita dah simpan, try untuk macam keluarkan semua macam gitulah, macam experiences semua kita happy untuk macam share untuk mereka, untuk sesama kita atau untuk viewers yang tengok kita lah.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, game time. Okay, let me read to you all. Okay, what are the techniques done can result the persilat to be disqualified? So anyone can just answer. So whatever the technique that the opponent is doing in the fight, and that can result to disqualification.
Okay, for the new rule is the first one is the takedown is 12-6.
12-6.
12. Okay. That one is cannot. If we do the 12-6,
Disqualified.
disqualified.
DQ.
Any more?
Grappling onto the vest and doing elbows, knees while holding onto the vest. I think heavy, but I think not disqualification unless it hits the groin.
I think warning one.
The
So
suplex,
the question is only resulted to disqualification. So you just have to give me last question. You not fail.
See, we have two.
Push up.
Two. The 12-6 and the suplex.
Okay. Is that final?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
But you might want to explain on the pile driving.
Okay. So is the whatever the answer is correct. 12-6. That is pile driving. Another one is suplex. Suplex is like the wrestling. They do throwing back and hits the back of the neck. So this one, either the athlete concuss or not, is still a disqualification. So only these two, that is no question asked and straight
It's okay.
disqualification. Game is over. Regardless whether the opponent have points, that means like 30 points more than the other opponents. Okay? Alright, I have the second question for you. State only 2 changes in artistic category. Any new 2? Anyone can answer. Don't need to be an artistic coach.
The single, the last part of the lompat tu.
Lompat apa?
Lompat yang the last gerak tu harus dekat harus straight dengan the weapon stand.
Okay.
Yeah. After that,
Wait, let him. Give him a chance. Come
Alright.
on, give him a chance.
and again wait.
5 seconds for you.
I wanna try to the macam yang
4,
very
3, 2, 10.
20.
20 push-up. You owe me 20 push-up. Okay. Any one of you?
First is scoring system, the point system, the different.
What point? I don't understand. I say 2 new changes for the category of artistic.
Oh,
Okay, 2. This is for the artistic. So just now he have mentioned, let's say the last the tongkat, right? The toya, and then you must jump right to the
Straight to the
box. Yeah, to the front. You cannot from the outside and jump in. So when you outside to jump in means you got minus, right? 0.01. So now, okay, you have to add one more if you want to say. You also want 20 push-up or what? Huh? What happened to my coaches?
more on technique. So, arena.
5, 4, 3,
Bestnya tengok orang push up.
2,
Apa ni cuma satu doang aku ingatnya.
20 push-up, 20 push-up. You okay? After this,
No, I just one.
Which one?
Strike box.
That's one on it. Okay, then yourself.
I think one of the major changes is other than the arena, it's coaches now able to protest for artistic, not only for match.
So you're lucky with the 20 push-up.
20 push-up.
So 2 of them 2020,
2020, 40.
40. So
I'm not free.
40
You no
to
free,
her.
you also 40. You want bullet, you don't want Asian.
2020. Okay. All right. All right. So basically, yes. So what Coach Hasmo has mentioned, and Coach Hamdi has mentioned, that is correct. 2 of it, the changes. On top of that, there's a lot more other changes. All right. In terms of the mattress itself, we have changed, and we have 10 juries. Also, point system that you have to. The jury will start off from 9.00 to 10.00. So you have to have the decimal inside there to do your scoring. That means you have to put 9.95, 9.98 or 9.990. You have to have all that for the system to calculate accordingly lah. Alright, so you got to do your homework. You got to do your homework. You got to do your homework.
Point system.
The point system correct what? So because not directly
specific.
not specific. Everything was good.
Okay.
Okay. I got question 3. Why do you think for the dropping technique, we allowed now grappling, pulling and touching? Why?
So
Why?
first is more clear for the valid dropping because for the compared to last technique, right? So if we do the grappling is cannot. So invalid. Now we make like clear, simple and more valid for the technique because we can grab, we can pull, we can touch, but only the targeted are not above the neck lah.
Okay.
So this technique, the dropping technique is more clear, more valid lah. So we can more easy to valid for the dropping lah.
Okay, I take it your answer, so no push-up for you. However, the explanation comparing from before until and now. Before, the moment you want to drop an opponent, you cannot hold the hand or the vest and so on. So the moment you hold, very difficult for wasit or the jury to give you the points because that is you can't do it. So right now we thought that we have to let go. You being an athlete, and of course coach have to make sure that the athlete know how to manage yourself, defend yourself from getting pulling and getting touch and whatever not lah, whatever you think is you defend yourself from dropping. That's the bottom line. But I wanted to make it like the rule freely.
Nah, because
Freely,
for
yeah.
me, right, this area is the gray area. Sebelum ini sometimes ada wasit yang kalau orang tangkap itu dia pakai tarik, dia valid, sometimes
Not valid.
not valid, sometimes kalau protes
Very
dia
confusing,
very confusing. That's why kita buat macam gini supaya satu rule aja. Jadi mau grab ke, mau tak grab ke, itu boleh. Jadi kita macam kayak lebih tak ada grey lagi lah, kita mesti hitam putih. Jadi macam gitu lebih.
Suka you lah, basically.
Yeah,
It's up to you. As long as you know how to
Ya,
defend yourself.
sometimes buat macam tak adil. Tadi dia buat tarik tapi disahkan. Sedangkan kalau atlet saya tarikan tapi tak boleh. Macam gitu. Jadi
Always we have seen
Yes.
and very unhappy, the coaches
Yeah.
unhappy.
Yeah.
Right now, you can pull, up to you.
Yeah.
If the coach thinks that they're not happy, what they do? They protest, they have the cut to protest.
Yeah.
So, we make it more interesting lah.
Yeah.
More interesting for them to perform whatever they like lah. So, no complaint lah.
More freedom.
More freedom.
More freedom.
Right, more question.
More questions for this segment. For the first question, what are your first thoughts when it was announced on the changes or improvements on the rules and regulations?
Answer, you guys have to answer.
Lagi.
What are your first thoughts when the announcement was made about the changes?
Kira-kira like when the Persilat, right, the International Silat Federation announced that there's a changes. I think it was announced in the February 2020 to the world saying that, okay, this is the new rules.
Yeah.
So being a coach, you guys being a coach, how do you take it? How you take it? Macam mana kamu penerimaan kamu? Wah, ini crazy man.
Yeah.
This is a new thing. I have to start back doing the coaching and all that. How I want to coach.
Ya, saya berbicara di seni yang tadi yang awal saya katakan, ya mungkin ini akan menjadi macam sesuatu yang mengganggu mental pikiran atlet karena kan sekarang atlet dituntut untuk melakukan penampilan ketika competition mungkin 3 atau sampai 4 kali penampilan. Biasanya seni is like macam satu kali untuk masuk final dan satu kali final, that's all. Nah, sekarang kan mungkin mental mereka macam sedikit macam terganggu lah. Desai dengan peraturan yang sekarang ini saya mencoba untuk ya memberikan porsi latihan yang mungkin lebih dari sebelumnya dan juga memberikan keyakinan kalau penampilan full performance itu ya seperti halnya latihan yang biasa gitu dan nggak perlu hal yang ditakutkan lagi gitu. Jadi ketika di pertandingan mereka sudah terbiasa, ya mungkin agak pressure dengan stresnya mungkin berbeda, tapi setidaknya dengan ketika di latihan sudah dilatih untuk terbiasa dengan hal ini, ya mungkin mereka ya akan jadi terbiasa seperti di latihan walaupun di pertandingan. Itu aja.
Pada saya mungkin lebih ke tandingnya ya. Dengan perubahan rule baru ini menurut saya lebih interesting lebih benar karena banyak teknik baru, banyak teknik yang sangat efektif untuk kita buat juga. Kemudian peraturan dulu kita hanya 6 contact, sekarang udah tak ada 6 contact lagi. Kita boleh main more dynamic, more intense, terus juga tidak terlalu banyak start stopnya, jadi kita punya waktu lagi efisien, tak terlalu banyak buang masa sangat karena sudah makin clear lah aturannya. So dan juga adanya protest card, kita bisa membela atlet kita kalau misalkan ada tak perlu sampai protes yang kita harus marah atau gimana. Cuma ada kekurangan pada saya yang agak mengganggu sedikit ya. Ini saya pribadi karena peraturan sekarang coaches dilarang langsung memberikan direct instruction. Itu yang susah.
Kita gerak macam gerak.
Biasa main kat sana, kena sekarang. Coach, nanti kalau tak kena yellow card. Aduh, itu yang buat coach semacam susah berekspresi, susah untuk kasih instruction.
Simpan
Itu
ke dalam semua,
aduh, nak biasa sekarang coach yellow, okey duduk balik. Itu yang bikin
Kita pressure.
pressure macam sometimes duduk nak kena gini jadi tak boleh diri kan.
Enggak, karena pelatih juga perlu untuk mengeluarkan ini apa,
Ekspresi.
expression apa. Ya, jadi macam
Nahan.
Tapi masalahnya kalau keluarkan ekspresi tu kan terlalu sangat.
itu yang tak boleh.
Nanti kan bukan
Mungkin
duduk
karena
terus dah lompat nanti dah.
mungkin kita belum terbiasa je dengan drum. Mungkin lama-lama mungkin kita boleh kontrol lah, boleh lagi relax, lagi senang lah.
Satu aspek yang saya tengok kalau dulu saya juga kan uncontrolled.
Fire juga lah.
Dia fire terlalu dia terbakar terus. So tak boleh. So lagi satu aspek sebagai pelatih as one of being a coach, you have to do a planning.
Ya.
How you use, jadi macam orang bisu lah kan. Macam mana dia do dia punya code. All the kode pakai jari jemari, right? Untuk giving your message or instructions to your athlete. I think that is very powerful also.
Yeah.
Tak payah nak pekik. Bukan atlet tu boleh dengar kau pekik. Dia dah tutup telinga dia, dah dua kiri kanan dah tutup. Dia cuma tengok opponent lah. Kalau dia kena pukul lagi, dia tak tahu dia nak lari luar lagi. Sampai ada yang this is serious So the last SEA Championship, so sebelah saya kan itu guest of honor kita punya CEO Sports SG Mr. Lim Teck In. So after dia tengok atlet sometimes lari luar dan sebagainya kan, so he suggested, come on man, why not you put like a cage so they cannot run outside. I say, look, this is Silat, I cannot be having sama macam MMA. I say cannot. So I may suggest in long run we do like a bowl. So you still tak boleh lari luar. Kalau mau lari kan susah. So but now Silat the format is like this. So dia cakap why not? Because athlete lari luar, you mau kasih warning lah, verbal lah, itulah inilah. So may as well you have a cage or a ring that they cannot run outside. I say not for Silat for now. Yeah.
Pada saya lebih misalkan dulu point zero, maybe kita cakap point zero. Point zero itu maksudnya clear. Tapi sekarang ini dengan new rule ini tak bisa sembarangan untuk mengamankan poin. Maybe dulu defense-nya menjauh dengan lawan. Sekarang tak bisa sama sekali. Kita harus benar-benar pintar mengamankan poin itu. Tak selalu kamu berputar di ujung gelanggang. Sekarang tak bisa. Semuanya sudah bisa dilakukan di gelanggang itu. Itu yang perlu diadaptasikan. Kedua, maybe agresif, but dalam tanda kutip ya agresif ya. Tapi lebih senang dilihat. Oke, seperti itu. Dulu dengan sekarang gitu. Agresifnya dalam tanda kutip membuat setiap orang tuh, gitu. Jadi lebih seperti itu.
Ya, untuk tambahan daripada selfie ya. So why the changes? Kenapa change ke new rules? So the Pak Benny, Pak Teddy, myself, Datuk Megat dan Pangeran Haji Karim from Brunei. So we sat down. Why we want to change? So I have brought up because we have done so many championships in Singapore. So we call medias and so on, media sponsors and so on. So they found out, this is a Silat championship, and then they look at it like, bila nak lawan ni? When I want to see the fight, bila want to fight because wait too long. And then ada stop tadi kan, you kan stop 6 lah, dulu 4, dari 4 ke 6. Jadi dia say boring lah. Silat ni boring Kerana terlalu too much, too long, too much of dancing and so on. Yes, there's a lot of sports science punya people came in to watch Silat, and then they watch the media, and then the sponsor. They say it's too boring and too. So how to make it dynamic and how to make it more interesting? That's why we let it go. You want to fight, you fight. Tapi mesti ada kaedah Silat. And then you can fight as you like, as long as Silat we cannot kick, punch, neck and above. Groin cannot, sama kneecap you cannot kick and so on. But you can do locking, submission and so on standing. So that make it interesting. And now the medias and the sports SG and everybody look at it. Wow, this is crazy. This is, I love it, like Sylvie cakap tadi kan. Wah, ini interesting lagi, more high dynamic, more shock to see lah. So I think in the right direction, but of course we need to see more way how to control and how to make it more interesting and more safe also.
Mungkin kalau dibuatkan study itu, kalau efektivitas setiap pertandingan ditanding itu mungkin yang efektif itu cuman round kedua atau round ketiga. Round pertama orang lebih banyak tunggu-tunggu, macam baca macam mana lawan main. Jadi macam ya tadi dia cakap lah, mau banyak-banyak tari-tari, dancing gitu. Jadi kita bukan hanya jadikan silat ini disukai dengan kalangan kita aja. Kita pun nak kasih yang orang-orang yang tak paham silat pun juga, what is sport ni? Apa sport ni? Dia macam buat mereka tuh macam penasaran gitu. Betul. That's why kenapa rule ini selalu berubah ya, karena kita memang bagaimana caranya silat ini bukan cuma orang silat aja yang suka, tapi orang luar pun juga harus suka gitu.
Ya, kita mengharapkan media masa lebih berminat lah. The medias love it, these new initiatives, and of course sponsors will love to come in to sponsor, because most of the time sponsors want to come in for MMA. So maybe for this time round, maybe they will love to come in for Silat, and of course the spectatorship increases and they enjoy very much of this new concept. Yeah.
Is it hard to adapt to the new rules or the upgraded version?
I have to be very sincere lah. When first this new rule was announced, I was very skeptical lah. So I took initiative rather than just thinking it over, presume. I met Dr. Sheik personally. I asked him, boss, why need to change? So he explained to me, it must be interesting. I agree. You want to go to Olympics, we must be much more better than last time. Agree. We need to get in sponsorship, media coverage. I agree. So one of my first few questions to him was safety features, safety aspects. Because the new rules is across the board, from from senior cup all the way to seniors. So before that, I was very skeptical because I did not know what are the changes, what are the safety aspects. So I was being informed that competition, the vest is a new vest, covered. So 1 point, okay, covered. Second, the timing of the match. So the rest period is much longer than before. Okay, second. Third, which really convinced me was internationally, rather than last time only medic, now qualified doctors must be present. So kita we eliminated the safety factors. So I move on. So boss, on technical, I agree. New changes, new rules allow kita as a practitioner of Silat and a supporter of Pencak Silat and as a coach, it gives us that freedom to be innovative. Dah tak lagi the technique is just one, that's it in the book. So it's up to the expertise of the coach how he can think, dissect, revamp, review the technique. Okay, from here now I'm given 2 seconds to react from an initial 5 second takedown. Previously dulu tak ada, cannot. 5 seconds, that's it. Now I have another option. I have 2 seconds to react. So holistically kita enrich the art. So silat tu cantik, dah tak lagi terkunci. I can escape, but the rules doesn't allow me. But the change allow me to react. So if you look from a spectator point of view, it becomes exciting. If you look from a business point of view, this is worth investing. If you look from a coach, it drives us to be a thinker rather than be comfortable in our own box. Teknik ni. So usually training 50 kanan, 50 kiri, 50 kicks left, 50 kicks right. That's it. So you're dropping technique, and that's it. Now it cannot be developed or trained in such a way. You want to do something, pros and cons, scenario A, scenario B, scenario C. So everything must be incorporated. So basically, as a coach, is a challenge for me. That's why even at this age, I believe for Dr. Sheik, even at his age, he's still driven because of the changes. Something is just like a fuel to amplify the sport, to amplify the dynamics of the coach untuk kita grow. So it's not only tanding. Look at artistic. No longer satu kali dah habis.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable.
Feel comfortable. Okay, dah habis.
I get the gold medal. I'm the champ.
The first day, after this,
I remember
like king or like
C-Cham was
like
approached
mid-
by
mid-
other contingent coaches. Hey, why you take out the big circle? Why? Confusing. Why? It's in the rule book. So this is a challenge. So the challenge is not only for match. Because we as a coach, we never degrade or segregate. A match is always first class. Sunny second class. No. It's even par. Both category fighting.
yeah.
Round robin or sudden death. So everybody has stages to go. So to me, in a whole, why I support this is I believe in the change. I know change is never easy. Starting point, we are now at the beginning point. We are the pioneers of the change. So a lot of negativity. Akan cakap, kenapa gini? Is it dangerous kalau lock patah? So to prevent such cases, it falls onto the coach. The failure of the athlete is basically the failure of the coach. You fail to equip the athlete. So I think for growth of Silat, new rule is a good sign for the future and Silat.
It really works the brain juice of these coaches also lah. And not only coaches, we're talking about the entirety of the federation or the organisation. You have a full-fledged change and massage your brain to work harder for new things. Don't feel comfy, Right now we are so comfortable with whatever that we've been doing. And now you can see all digitalized. Everything is all about digitalizing format, improving. And next time we have to see about how we can put the algorithm into our system. We use algorithm and spin the whole thing and elevate the sport. You think so? You think you like it? Or you will just be like comfortable and relaxed?
Ya, unless gitulah. Kalau memang dorang mungkin kalau sudah rasa ini sudah comfortable, just macam silat only for SEA Games sport or Asian Games pun, kalaupun itu dekat negara yang ada silatnya aja. Kalau memang nak gitu aja, kita tak mau tak nak selalu inovatif ya.
Yeah, it's a big investment, and to all categories of people, and at the same time we just need to improve and keep changing. I think change management in terms of improving the sport, I think is a must and is in need. That's why you can see International Silat Federation also. There will be a total change soon when we have our congress and make it to a new thing, and this is a new mindset, new direction, and we want more people to come in with young bloods and so on to put Silat to the next map, and our road to Olympics and the desire to be part of it. Inshallah in 2028 you can see that it will be a demonstration sport soon. Then from there we'll see that we can put our leg into the Olympics. I guess that will really change from a kampung silat, where it started off only just invitation, right? From invitation, it goes into a SEA Games in 1987 in Jakarta. Then from there, it goes so big now into Asian Games, and the next step is only Olympics.
Okay, so just now Coach Hasmo already shared what are the changes. So each one of you share one massive changes that you know, and is it hard to adapt to it? Satu pembaharuan baru, setiap coach akan share. Tadi Coach Hasmo dah share kan. So setiap coach akan share satu pembaharuan baru. Dan susah tak nak adapt to that changes?
Okay, for me, first is pasal new rule lah. So we must adapt for the new tactical. So now we learn. Saya sendiri dah buat research macam mana nak mainkan tactical untuk di teknik yang di rule yang baru. Tapi memang karena competitionnya masih belum jalan banyak, baru satu kali. So kita punya tactical belum boleh nampak sangat ini boleh pakai atau tidak. So memang harus banyak competition dulu baru kita memang tactical ini kita boleh pakai. Oh yang ini harus ada perubahan, mungkin kita akan tukar tacticalnya seperti ini. So kita udah ada plan, cuma memang harus banyak lagi competition lah. In real competition ya, bukan trial, tapi betul-betul real competition, like betul ada juri semua, ada kita punya kompetitor, pasal kita akan bermain di SEA Games atau mau nanti World Champ. So kita harus banyak kompetisi. Ya kita tahu sekarang pasal COVID situation, so susah nak travel sana sini, susah untuk buat competition. So kesulitannya untuk adapt dengan new rules ya salah satunya untuk saya itu new tactical dengan banyaknya competition, jadi belum bisa mensesuaikan 100%.
Kalau di seni lebih ke, kalau dulu sebagai pelatih kan just focus with my athlete aja lah. Pasal sekarang kan the new rules is boleh protes ya. Jadi the coach bukan cuma fokus with the on athlete aja. Kita pun juga mesti kena detail. So mungkin ada reason untuk macam, bukan reason lah, mungkin ada macam kesempatan untuk memang di mata pelatih itu, coach tu kalau memang the opponent do mistake movement jadi kita boleh do lah sesuatu yang mungkin boleh tolong atlet itu boleh dapatkan kemenangan lah, itu aja.
Pada saya sama, untuk mengajarkan teknik baru itu tetap harus melihat kompetisi selanjutnya. Tapi yang paling bisa kita lakukan saat ini adalah melatih otot-otot para atlet ini untuk siap dalam setiap teknik. So seperti dropping, otot mana sih yang paling dominan gitu. Nah kita tuh harus menyiapkan itu untuk yang saat ini yang bisa kita lakukan gitu. Jadi melatih kelompok-kelompok otot yang benar-benar spesifik untuk mereka benar-benar siap untuk new rules ini. Dropping or
tarik-tarik,
order lah gitu. Jadi ya yang paling bisa kita lakukan mempersiapkan atlet itu.
So, kamu dari Indonesia kan? Jadi there's question or your friends, your family or relative ask like kenapa tukar, ada bad reviews ke apa? So how you guys like counter to say the changes for betterment ke macam mana?
Ya, okay. Pertama mungkin dari banyak kita, saya sering pernah berdiskusi dengan saya punya kawan-kawan di Indonesia, pun banyak yang bertanya langsung ke saya, kenapa ganti gini. Tadi sebenarnya alasannya sudah dijelaskan juga oleh Pak Sheik, ya untuk lebih interesting apa semua. Cuma di Indonesia sendiri ada sedikit memang perdebatan lah, yang mereka bilang kaidah silatnya mulai berkurang, kemudian juga terlalu berbahaya. Cuma pada saya kekurangan dari mereka adalah mereka baru hanya melihat, belum menerapkan, atau di Indonesia belum adanya seminar tentang new rule ini. Jadi mereka pun belum paham 100% kenapa begini, kenapa, dan yang buat saya sih agak sedikit macam kelakar juga. Ini rule sudah dibuat pun oleh Persilat. Persilat itu ada 4 negara pendiri, ada Indonesia, Singapura, Malaysia, Brunei. Dan dorang banyak yang dari Indonesia sendiri banyak yang minta, wah kalau bisa dirubah rule-nya gini lebih safety. Cuma macam yang last kita buat meeting di New Rule, kalian kemana gitu? Kenapa baru sekarang ini ide-ide yang mereka pikirkan tuh baru dikeluarkan? Kenapa nggak dari sebelum pembahasan dari awal? Karena memang proses pembuatan rule baru ini kan bukan cuma 1 atau 2 kali saja. Ini bertahap semua. Banyak evaluasi. Dan salah satunya si Cem pun harusnya banyak orang berpikir kenapa nih Singapura bikin, karena satu kita mau tahu nih gimana kejadian realnya dengan rule baru gitu, untuk sebelum masuk ke SEA Games dan kejuaraan dunia. Jadi tapi ada banyak bad comment lah, wah ini tak bagus. Mereka sorotinya ya wah lebih ke situ. Sekarang silat sudah kayak MMA, silat seperti judo. Mereka bukan berpikir harusnya, kalau pada saya harusnya mereka juga berterima kasih kenapa kita bisa membuat di kondisi seperti ini, pandemi, kita susah untuk dapat uang, susah buat organize untuk kompetisi, susah. Harusnya mereka melihat tapi mengevaluasi, bukan malah mengkritik boleh, tapi bukan maksudnya jangan menjatuhkan atau menjelekkan. Dan gimana ya, mereka lebih ke tidak sukanya, tapi mereka belum tahu rule yang aslinya. Jadi salah satunya kemarin di SEA kita sudah sebelum bertanding, organizer sudah membuat briefing untuk atlet, untuk coach, untuk juri, untuk pelatih semuanya. Jadi di briefing dulu, dijelaskan dulu sebelum bertanding. Itu bikin kita clear karena ada sesi tanya jawab semuanya. Jadi kita yang di situ semua lebih tahu, lebih paham jadinya. Oh ternyata rule baru yang boleh seperti ini, yang tak boleh seperti ini. Tapi banyak orang yang cuma melihat aja dari macam jadi ahlinya silat mungkin ya, tiba-tiba jadi ahlinya silat. Wow ini silat nggak bagus, tanpa adanya pengetahuan dia tentang rule baru. Dan ada di Indonesia juga ada mereka buat survei tentang rule baru. Sebetulnya itu bagus, pada saya itu lebih bijak lah. Dia bikin survei, tanya pendapat ke orang-orang, dia sebarkan ke seluruh dunia tentang survei itu. Itu salah satu cara yang bagus, cara menanyakan. Itu lebih bijak daripada hanya menjudge, oh ini nggak bagus. Cuma masalahnya di Indonesia itu satu lagi, mereka membuat survei tapi banyak orang yang mengisi yang belum mengikuti seminar tentang rule baru. Jadi macam kita suruh nilai, ini ada minuman loh, kita belum minum, belum ngerasain itu gimana, tapi dia oke, ini minuman rasanya gimana? Coba kamu nilai rasanya gimana, manis, asam, asin, pedas ke. Mereka belum tahu hal-hal yang seperti itu. Jadi udah mau ini botolnya nggak bagus, ini. Jadi banyak lebih ke nggak setujunya mungkin, tanpa mungkin ya kalau di Indonesia sudah dari awal gitu, dari kayak Singapura lah misalkan, selepas adanya meeting dengan Persilat tentang rule baru, mereka langsung coba menyebarkan ke perguruan, menerima pendapat gini. Walaupun awal-awal memang juga banyak yang wah kenapa ada perubahan seperti ini gitu, susah diterimanya. Memang untuk awal-awal itu memang susah lah, tapi setelah menjelaskan, di Singapura udah kita beberapa kali buat trial dulu sesama perguruan, terus kita bikin local competition, semuanya kita cover semua. Akhirnya mereka paham dan membiasakan, dan akhirnya terbiasa. Dan sampai sekarang di Indonesia masih belum
Sosialisasikan.
Sosialisasikan tentang rule baru. Jadi masih banyak pro kontra tentang rule baru di sana. Banyak yang wah tolong kalau bisa IPSI bantu untuk coba merubah rule yang baru, walaupun padahal ini rule sudah di agree, sudah diketok, sudah disahkan, sudah ditandatangan oleh 4 negara pendiri. Jadi maksudnya berarti ada miskomunikasi atau info yang tak sampai ke orang-orang di Indonesia. Jadi makanya mereka banyak yang komplain karena nggak tahu. Mungkin itu sih.
For Dr. Sheik, so what do you want to say to those people out there who still give bad news on the improvement?
First and foremost, standing as a founding member, and at the same time, we are very clear. We are very clear. The 4 founding members consist of Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei, and Singapore. Represented by Mr. Benny Surat Maji, Mr. Benny Guatama, Surah Sumarsono, Mr. Teddy Surat Maji, Datuk Megad Zulkarnain, Haji Pangeran Haji Karim, dan myself. I guess we are very clear what is the direction, what we want to build on, and what we want to share, and what we want to push this why. Everything is already set and planned, and accordingly we have moved from 2020 to 21, and very soon we will have so many competitions. So there's nothing else that we are wary of. What we need, we are just like a sponge also. We will absorb a lot of comments and information that given to us, and then we'll try to improve upon whatever that we have casted the rules. It's not fixed. Of course, if there is improvement, there is a new element and so on, we will try to do the best to improve and make it better. Of course, we have to look into the safety aspect. Of course, we have to look at the spectatorship. Of course, we have to look at the viewership for people to follow us. We need fans. We need fans. When fans, we can monetize. Monetize in terms of money. Silat have to make more money to grow. So in all these aspects, and of course tech is very important, meaning technologies. Silat have to go into technologies to bloom, failing which we can't. So the bottom line is International Silat Federation is very clear in the direction moving forward. Why we are doing this? The bottom line is we want to have a change. We want to be in Olympics. That is one part of it, and we want that to globalize Pencak Silat to the world. So that's the bottom line. And of course, remember this, of course, we will never forget where is our roots. The culture is there. With the culture, that's why it evolve to become what we are now, and we carry the culture together with us. And then people will understand what is Pencak Silat, and then they will understand, oh, Pencak Silat, the self-defense is crazy, is so good, and we are in Hollywood. And more movies that we are doing, Malaysia is doing movies, Indonesia is doing movies, everybody is doing a lot of things. So not only we are talking about sports, we are talking about enrichment, we are talking about popularizing the sports and digitalize it and make it as one of the sports Silat playing with inside like street fighting, right? They call it what? Street Fighter or whatever, the game. So you have Silat inside there. And people will follow everything. The new development. I guess for Singapore Silat Federation, we are doing a lot of things. That's why we are here. And we do our best, and we hope the global, the people out there from the federation will follow like us, lah. You know.
Last question, Coach Hasmul. you want to read out loud and anyone.
Okay, basically the question is, what's a common issue that is confused about the upgraded rules? The main confusion is from a coach perspective in competition, point system. I think previously the system was if you block and you punch, people always think it is 1 plus 1. In the new rules, there's no longer 1 plus 1 or 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3. So it's a clearer point system. So most of the coaches in the world, they, as I say, as a coach, we cannot remain in our own box, point of comfort. We need to always evolve, need to adapt to changes. And we agree that change is never easy. So one of it is point system. Second is from supporter of Pencak Silat. As a practitioner of Pencak Silat, the common negative remarks which I get personally from international is, why are we using techniques from Jiu-Jitsu, from Aikido, from TKD, and other means of martial arts? So I need to explain to them without degrading them. As a practitioner of Pencak Silat, Silat is so rich. Previously, we are unable to showcase.
True.
The problem is we are unable, because the rules previously, 6 hits, you can't do grabs, you can't touch, you can't this, you can't counter react, you can't counter evolve. But the change in the new rules give us that freedom. So once freedom is given for those who have practiced Pencak Silat, I'm not saying that I'm very experienced, no, because I've been practicing so long and I've seen Pencak Silat from grassroots and different continents, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore and other countries. So the art is so rich, but it was not showcased. There's no platform. Until suddenly Iko Uwais showcased in the Raid Redemption, when we saw Cheche, wow, Silat can play crumpet, is much more deadlier than Bruce Lee's
Double stick.
double stick. Suddenly the highlight was to crumpet, because there was exposure. Same goes to sports Silat. That's what was mentioned earlier. Sports Silat compared to traditional Silat or business Silat, monetary, it's just a small portion. People thought it's just this. But once sports Silat starts to evolve, people speculate. People say that we are forgetting our roots. We are confusing. We do not know what we want to do. We keep on changing on the rules. Rules is what all of us agreed, it's not cast in stones. It's not fixed. And I've said many times, we need to come to common grounds. Change is never easy. To be a pioneer, to evolve change, there's going to be conflicts. There's going to be a lot of negativity on top of positivity, and a lot of things, a lot of factors. To ride through this wave and to tell ourselves in the future that we've gone through this. In my lifetime, I've ensured that I've did something for Pencak Silat, rather than being stagnant, being contented with whatever I have learned 40 years ago, then and now, no change, and just be contented with just SEA Games. Just be contented, the highest achievement is just Asian Games. Okay, enough. I just want to be a kampung sport.
Yes.
Which doesn't make sense. So change, we need to follow mainstream. We need, without money there's no change. Basic science, 1-on-1, or 1+1. Other than that, enrichment of the technique. So coaches need to evolve. So I understand from the older generation, it is not easy to evolve. Change is something of a taboo to them. I need to be good in this, I need to be good. So I cannot follow them. So I just believe in what I just want to, no. It's unhealthy for the whole sport. Also, in summary, confusion will always be there, regardless at which stage, beginning, intermediate or advanced level. It is healthy for the growth of the sport. We welcome negative comments, but negativity should be put in such a word that it do not degrade the sport. Negativity that you want the sport to grow, then it's not only by just telling, oh, this is negative. You should just come forward, tell us from the point of view what can be done better. As I say, I think Singapore Federation has invested a lot, even financially. I think in the world we are the only one with VR system. in pencak silat. So to conclude, as I say again, confusion is good for the sport, but it must be put in such a way it does not degrade the sport. It helps to propel the sports to the next level. Do not be the executive, be inclusive with the growth of the sport.
Okay, short and simple, share your summary on the improvised rules and regulation. Hamdi.
Summary is
In summary, apa-apa yang kamu nak sampaikan lah tentang rules and regulation. Apa yang kamu nak sampaikan pada teman-teman ke di luar sana yang masih belum faham ke?
kalau buat saya cuma untuk macam support aja. Mau lebih ke support aja. Jadi apapun yang kita lakukan untuk pencak silat adalah untuk kemajuan dan juga untuk silat yang lebih baik lagi. Support aja.
Kalau pada saya untuk yang mungkin yang pro and kontra dengan rule baru buat teman-teman yang masih belum paham, mungkin sebaiknya sebelum bertindak atau mengatakan sesuatu, fahami dulu, cari tahu bagaimana cara untuk bermain di rule yang baru ini. Jadi dari situ teman-teman mungkin boleh menganalisa baik atau tidaknya, mungkin bisa dievaluasi atau kasih kritik dan saran ke persilat mungkin. Jadi tetap dengan by rule lah, nggak hanya cuma berkata kasar atau berkata negatif tentang apa yang telah dibuat oleh persilat, tapi pahami dulu rule barunya, kemudian buat kritikan dan saran, didengar atau tidak, yang penting teman-teman mungkin sudah memberikan saran buat persilatnya gitu. Mungkin itu aja sih.
Stop call pencak silat like MMA, taekwondo. Silat is silat, tak seperti olahraga yang lainnya. First, untuk yang keduanya, saya ingin katakan kepada seluruh pelatih, berhubung saya pun masih pelatih baru untuk new rule ini, lebih baik cepat beradaptasi dibandingkan kalian terus mengeluhkan untuk new rules ini. Karena akan ada ahli yang memang ya tadi, mungkin kalau ada pembaharuan ya silahkan sampaikan gitu. Tak mesti mengeluh terus tentang new rules ini. Lebih baik kita sebagai pelatih lebih cepat beradaptasi tentang new rules ini. Karena ya sudah kita ketahui sudah 4 negara pendiri yang sudah menyetujui. Jadi ya sambil menunggu mungkin ada pembaharuan, kita sembari adaptasi pada new rules ini. Itu aja.
Sheik, your conclusion?
Maybe you want to say something first?
For me, I think basically I've mentioned change is never easy. So rather than being against us, work with us. Work. It's not just following us. Work with us. Not only for supporters of Silat or practitioners of Silat or coaches, we welcome investors. This is the time for you to try something new, uncharted waters. Chuck Norris was the face of karate. Jean-Claude Van Damme was the face of karate. Why you cut? It is time for us to have a face in pencak silat, so that it's not only sports, it is a business venture for you. You are contributing to the sports, and holistically, as I said, sport is not only building of a sportsman, it is holistic in building to a better person across all levels. So have trust in us. Whatever we do is for the betterment of pencak silat. We are never in our intention to degrade the silat or to put it anywhere lower or be stagnated. The growth of Silat is in our hands. Let's work together.
Alright, as for me, I echoed with our fellow coaches here very much. And of course, just follow and see the development, be part of it, and let's join in, basically come in. Don't sit down there outside, come in and support us in all your whichever you are, in your own federation, or you can I've been receiving a lot of texts basically. Text is always easy. They always send videos and ask me for explanation and so on. There's a lot out there in all over the world. I've been supporting that, and it's my duty to make them understand on certain things that they are doubt of. So I think that's very good. There's a very good things that we are doing. So come forward. Let's join. You can join in the federation in many manners. Volunteer. You want to be a coach. You want to be anything, I should say, in contributing to the development of Pencak Silat in Singapore and in the world. Thank you very much.
So we have come to the end. Maybe you guys can say to them to like, share, subscribe our YouTube channel, and then we're done.
Jangan lupa like, comment, and subscribe the Singapore Silat Federation channel. Support kita supaya lebih bisa mengembangkan silat lagi ke seluruh dunia.
Ya, jangan lupa like, comment, subscribe. Mungkin kita akan share video-video lagi yang bermanfaat buat teman-teman semua, dari tentang keilmuan silat atau variasi latihan silat atau apa berhubungan dengan silat. Makanya support terus channel kami, dukung terus lah pokoknya. Thank you.
Beda ya kalau YouTuber yang ngomong ya.
Like, comment, share, dan follow kita. Okay. Once again, thank you for being with us in our journey. Let's do our part to help promote Pencak Silat.
Like, comment, and share for all my friends.
Besar.
Bila kalian penasaran, so tetap watch YouTube SSI. Kita
SSF.
Singapore Silat Federation.
SSF. Tonton lagi kita untuk yang selanjutnya karena akan lebih seru lagi, apalagi tentang new rules. Ya. Okay.
Well, join us and share and like and follow us. We have a lot in lines, our YouTube. Thank you very much and see you all again. Bye.